Hey everyone, welcome back. So let me start with something that might sound a little dramatic, but I think it needs to be said. I've said before that the United States is in a kind of civil war. And I know, for a lot of people, that doesn't seem to match what they see day to day. But I'm not talking about a traditional war with weapons in the streets. I'm talking about a deeper, more structural kind of civil conflict. It's about irreconcilable differences, in values, in wealth, in belief systems, that both sides are willing to fight over, politically, culturally, legally. And in that kind of environment, you have to start asking questions like, does the legal system still hold? Or do people start prioritizing their cause above the rules? That's the tension I see. That's the fracture. And yeah, it's real. Historically, conflicts like this don't tend to get resolved with compromise. Often, they escalate. You get to a point where people aren't even willing to talk to each other. They don't trust the process anymore. They don't trust the outcome unless it favors them. And that's when the system starts breaking down. Now sure, there's always the hope that fear of collapse forces a new solution. Maybe a fiscal commission gets formed, maybe we finally get serious about the debt or inequality or any of it. But I'm not holding my breath. What I actually expect is more fragmentation. More division between states. Different sets of rules, different directions. But here's the thing, this isn't new. History is full of moments like this. These cycles repeat. And usually, we only see how they resolve in hindsight. Right now, we're in it. Over the last 30 years, political leadership in the US, let's be honest, has mostly ignored the warning signs. The polarization, the inequality, the crumbling trust. The country used to have leaders who could find common ground. Reagan, Tip O'Neill, very different people, but they talked. They compromised. Today, we're at the highest level of political polarization in Congress since 1900. And the lowest rate of bipartisan cooperation. That's not just rhetoric, that's data. So how did we get here? Part of it is that the system used to work better, or at least better for most people. Productivity was more evenly distributed. The middle class had jobs that paid. Education systems trained people to participate in the economy. But that's changed. A small slice of the population, the elites, they've done great. They've created unicorn companies, gone to top schools, made billions. That group? Maybe 3 million people. Meanwhile, over 60% of Americans read at a 6th grade level or below. That's a staggering gap in capability. And with globalization and automation? Those middle-class jobs, assembly lines, manufacturing, they vanished. Technology and global competition changed everything. And it created a wealth gap, which fed a values gap, and now we're dealing with the result. You've got a system where the elites gather at world summits, doing deals, flying private, and you've got tens of millions struggling just to get by. So the anger? It's real. The division? Also real. And now, AI is about to throw gasoline on the fire. Don't get me wrong, AI can be incredible. We're already seeing systems that can pass PhD-level tests across multiple fields. Imagine that. One brain, mastering all domains, faster than any human could ever dream of. But here's the challenge, what happens to the people who are left behind? The ones whose work can be done more efficiently by machines? We're going to need a game plan. A real one. Because this transition is coming fast. And no, as far as I can tell, there isn't a serious plan on the table. Instead, we're going from this world of international cooperation, the WHO, the WTO, the World Bank, to everyone just acting in their own self-interest. My country, my tribe, my people. And when that's how the game's played, well, the first question becomes, who's actually in control? That's why I think the next 5 years will feel like a time warp. Quantum computing, AI, automation, they're going to change everything. Economies. Governance. Security. Even health. In fact, AI is already starting to understand cause and effect relationships that are way beyond human comprehension. You'll see it in medicine first, analyzing every breath you take, the air quality, your DNA, your stress levels, and predicting outcomes before doctors even know what's wrong. That's powerful stuff. In economics too, we've been guessing. Using terms like inflation as these big, vague concepts. But soon, AI could break that down to a molecular level. Every transaction tracked. Every policy move modeled. It won't be theory anymore, it'll be precision. But with that kind of power comes risk. Who controls the data? Who gets to make decisions? Could AI lead to social control or even totalitarian outcomes? That's not sci-fi. That's a real possibility. Or maybe we don't get totalitarianism. Maybe we get chaos. Anarchy. I don't know. What I do know is, we're not ready. And the people in charge? They don't seem to have a clue who's actually steering this ship. As an investor for 50 years, I've built my life on predicting the future. But honestly, the thing I've learned that's more valuable than anything is how to handle what I don't know. Because the biggest mistake people make is assuming the future will look like the past. It won't. Now, a lot of people are framing this as an AI arms race, the US versus China. But I don't think either side is going to win. Intellectual property doesn't stay secret for long. 6 months later, someone else has it. So we'll have different strengths in different places, and the competition will keep accelerating. Will AI and robotics bring manufacturing back to the US? I don't think so. We're way behind there. But what we do have is inventiveness. The best universities. Nobel Prize winners. A legal system that, when it works, supports innovation. That's our edge. But here's what matters most to me, above all the tech, above all the strategy, it's how we treat each other. Harmony. Community. Basic human decency. Those are what drive real happiness. And they're in short supply right now. If we can't work together, if we can't solve problems together, none of this innovation will save us. You want happiness? It doesn't come from more tech. It comes from having a strong community. And until we figure that out, how to be with each other, how to build trust again, all this other stuff is just noise. Thanks for listening. Stay thoughtful. Stay kind. And take care of each other.